Good morning, dear all our smart students. Today's our the second lesson on teaching different age groups. Today's theme is about characteristics of psychological and physiological features of teaching different age groups. From today's our PPT presentation, you will learn such kind of objectives. Promote active learning, match student and faculty expectations. We may exchange this sentence, match our learners and school expectations, stimulate learning in trainers, stimulate learning in lessons or activities, and outline from our today's lesson what needs to be covered: changing landscape, competencies, yeah, it means outcomes, making in the connection, and some suggestions if you have may write down from the platform, and course content linked to desired outcomes, relate to mission, vision for school, program, and course. Ideally, defined by the needs of workforce. Changing landscape students, changing landscape learners, age of incoming students decreasing slowly, faculty aging, economic and other pressures, value of education encourage changes in careers later in life. In varied classrooms, we have some generations in our classroom, yes, as we have education system, girls and boys, yes, and uh, teaching different age groups, and adopting our learning materials belongs to our learners age, yes, and today's generations, global generation, silent generation, baby boomers, generation X, and nowadays millennials or generation Y. And learning something, it depends on life experience, impact the way of people learn. And this experience may affect life experience, if especially may affect and may bother our learner's mind. And so that's why all teachers will aware of its own learners um, life, and about their family, and about life position. And then challenge for faculty to be effective in teaching and to make teaching and learning relevant, and making our lessons very efficient. It depends on teachers and teacher methodology. So we all us should know some information about our learners, and we should know about their learning styles, and also we should know their age, and about parents working, and what kind of a family has our student, and also and generation X, it means latchkey kids, both parenting working, many from single parent homes, technologically savvy, grew up with corporate and downsizing and layoffs, fewer career opportunities. and they will be very independent, problem solvers, ambitious, self starters, want to support but do not want to be told what to do or have to do it. Expect instant gratification, immediate feedback. They now must keep learning to be marketable. But Generation Y, such kind of learners are largest generation since baby boomers, many from divorced single parent homes, but parents are extremely hands-on in this decade of the child. Overindulged, overprotected, self-absorbed, and also technologically savvy. Generation Y will be very self confident, entitled, ambitious with high expectations, want to know process rules, how to get ahead. Expect to start at the top, want constant and immediate feedback. Move quickly from one thing to another, not as independent as Generation X. And also we have mixed classrooms, yes, in mixed classroom closer to work environment. Okay, is there any benefits or advantages or disadvantages to have being to have to teach mixed classrooms? Benefits, they are will be very experienced and technologically savvy, both of older our students and young students. And challenges, they are very anxious and lack identified. And our students suffers and scanners, not readers and digesters. Expect constant and immediate feedback, want directness over subtly, technologically savvy, but crave personal contact, always hurried, know what they want, and they want to learn everything. And in our school, healthiest and wealthiest of generations to date, ref- redefined traditional values, also hardworking, passionate, believe in hierarchy, may find it difficult to adopt to more flexible arrangements. And in this picture, there is a percentage of faculty spent in class time and student work, group work spends 15% of time, and uh, almost 10% of time student will be will do very independently and their self work, and 15% of the time of the lesson they spend their time other things. But if you see the diagram of the green color, all students spend this 60% of their time to listen the lecture. They always spend their the most time in the lesson, lecture speech, as you dears. And lecturing. Research has shown that it's impossible for students to absorb all the information in a lecture. We need every student to learn, not just a few. More effective approach gets students actively thinking and learning. And from our lecturers, students' expectations are want to solid knowledge base and real-world applications, want clear and organized presentation of material, want to be stimulated, active, and participatory, want to know why, How does this activity reading connect to my future career? Want faculty to be enthusiastic, helpful, and engaged. Expect customer service. Want face-to-face contact, but accept volunteers. And challenges of the school time, keeping up with their field, dealing with students with varied backgrounds and skill levels, and strategies to learn something or understand something. We must understand learners, accept difference among students and between students and faculty, engage students in setting goals and expectations, be flexible, creative, and try not to be surprised by anything that happens in the classroom. And also problem-based learning. We should give to our learners such kind of problems that based learning something in conclusion. Student-centered instructions, adult learning, adult education, competency-based, outcome-based instruction, and student-centered learning, substitute active learners projects and experience for lectures, hold students responsible for material not yet covered, assign open-ended questions and problems, use simulations, role-playing, use self-paced or cooperative team learning. And from these student challenges, students feel that teachers have changed the rules, teachers not teaching, paying tuition for what? Team-based learning, some do not want to work in groups, do all members contribute equally? Too difficult to schedule coordinate, some dominate, others hide. And faculty challenges fear. Stop lecturing, lose control. Won't cover all the material. Will students do the work? Fair assessment of group and teamwork. Repercussions of students' dissatisfaction. Low ratings. Every teacher, as a remarkable teacher, should pay attention to these challenges. And competences defined by the needs of workforce and are essential knowledge, skills, and attitudes required to achieve an acceptable level of performance. Achieved through formal training in the classroom and through hands-on field work. And these achieved informations belongs to our experience and our practicum in the lessons. Competencies. Each competency is supported by multiple learning objectives. Yes, every teacher should know and must um, do every learning objectives and must use every learning objectives in their lessons. Learning objectives for the core competencies generally fall in lower middle cognitive domains of Bloom's taxonomy: knowledge, comprehension, application, and also analysis. Concentration specific and cross-cutting or interdisciplinary objectives are more complex and include synthesis and evaluations. This is, as you see, this is Bloom's taxonomy, and learning competencies divided into three stages: learning activities, learning objectives, and competencies. Input from employers, alumni, faculty, staff, and students. Okay, and also your lesson design define competencies, map the learning objectives that support each competency, determine activities and assessments that promote student learning that are authentic, scenarios reflecting what students would actually do in practice and that are feasible. To administer, and your lesson should be designed by yourself as your learners or your learners uh, mm, knowledge supports, and your lesson plan should be designed such kind of the learning objectives that support each competency of your lesson, and also teaching strategies during the lessons. Set context, tie topics together continually, pre-assignments, in-class lectures and activities, opportunity to practice with feedback. Of course, feedback is a best result to achieve something. Giving feedback, I mean. Audience response system clickers, short but realistic examples, and also assessment. Every teacher should be very flexible. Check in during the lesson your learner's knowledge or your learner's tasks every time. Are students learning? You should check also. You should observe their attitudes. How do you know? With checking their handouts, answering the question, you should choose your strategy. What could be improved? Oral quizzes, crosswords, and listening tasks? What do you see? What kind of activity, if you use during your lesson, students could be improved their lessons? Summary can't satisfy everyone to mix it up. If somebody is not satisfied from your lesson, their all knowledge mixed up. To teach to the top. Use student-centered approach, please. It's very useful strategy. Use effective technology audience response real examples. Consider teamwork, peer-to-peer exchange. Stay always connected. And we also have different strategies during the lessons. Use different methods in class or outside, and also encourage critical thinking and synthesis. Create opportunities for reflection to your students, and pre-class assignments also. Set the tone. What means? What we should do to setting the tone. Create an environment that supports learning, encourages different points of view, recognize or discuss with your students your own biases. Maintain rigor, excite students about context. And also, we have got such kind of discussion points to clarify our teaching. What are your biggest challenges in teaching? Do you have a teaching mentor? Is teaching valued by your chair in AP decisions? All of the time, you should think about your lessons result for achieve the good progress. You should always plan your class beforehand, and also you should choose the appropriate strategy and learning objectives for your lesson. If you have done all of the stages, you may accept the result from your students learning outcomes. So Dear future teachers, be ready for all your lessons. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, you may write down or you may call to us, and you may also write via Telegram, and also we may discuss uh, Moodle platform. Take care. Bye bye. Ho, Aya? Ho.